Yo, and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. I'm fixing my lighting a little bit. And so I haven't been getting a whole lot of stuff in the mail lately. So what I thought I would do is a little discussion about auction houses and sports cards. And I know that most everybody buys cards off of eBay, and that's great. But I think if you're someone who's looking for high-end stuff, the best place for you to go is to look at auction houses, and I'm really surprised there's not much talk about that on the YouTube community and with other people. Hey Jerome, how you doing? Um, so I wanted to kind of go through it and explain it a little bit, and just show some ideas that I have about using auction houses, because that's where you're going to find, I think, really good deals. All of my high-end stuff has come from auction houses. I haven't bought it on eBay. So when I want something unique and different, what's up, guys? Um, I go to an auction house, and right now is like the prime auction season. There are, and another funny thing about auctions is, to me, I think there's only so much money to go around in the hobby, and um, to me, when you have a limited amount of money that can be spent within the hobby, although if you look at Shohei Ohtani Bowman cards right now, you wouldn't think there was a limit on the money, but there is. And to me, I think that if you have all these auction houses basically cannibalizing each other, it just poses an opportunity for us as collectors to pick up some really good deals on stuff. So, like, I'm looking for a Cy Young autograph, a Walter Johnson autograph, really higher end stuff. And right now, there's, I don't know, 6 auctions going on right now, and all of them have Walter Johnson autographs. All of them have Cy Young autographs. And so I'm hoping I can pick up something relatively cheap. It's not cheap, period, but it's hopefully relatively cheap. So there's 2 different ways to use auction houses. Or what I would call, you could even call them consigners. If you go to any baseball card show, especially if you go to the National, for example, they're all over the place trying to get you to consign your cards with them. And there is a stigma. Snoop's asking, there's a stigma in the hobby that auction houses are for only high-end items. And that's actually true. That's not a stigma. That is a true statement. You're not going to sell a Mike Trout rookie at an auction house. There's no point. But I'm trying to tell you guys about high-end items. If you want to find high-end items at a good price or a reasonable price, you need to be looking at auction houses. And I just think they get overlooked, which is ironic because I'm probably shooting myself in the foot since I use them all the time. And like guys like Bill, Hoff Collector, and Dustin Bellinger, guys like that I know use auction houses, are going to be like, Mike, what are you doing telling everybody about our secret place to get these awesome things? Well, I just want to help the hobby and help everybody find what they want. So I actually have 2 little cards here because I'm going to talk about eBay first. And again, there's 2 major consigners that I think are on eBay. The first one is PWCC, Pre-War Card Collectors, or whatever they stand for. And they have auctions going all the time, once a week, all the time. And here you can stop this if you want after it uploads to see kind of how it works. If it sells for a certain price, they take a percentage. If it's a $5,000 and up item, they take 8%. So if you sell a card, or let's say $1,000, that's easy math. They're taking 12%. So they're taking that off the top of whatever you sell. Now they pay all the eBay fees, all the PayPal fees, so you're not paying that. So in reality, let's say that's 5% or so of your sale price. You're not giving up something, and they absolutely, without question, garner higher prices on their auctions because people just know that they have high quality stuff. The other one that we all know about is Probstein 123. Rick Probstein runs Probstein, and here's the back. Here's their kind of sheet. Every time you buy a card from them, they'll send you this card. Will be in there. and they're about the same at the high end. You know, they're keeping 8%. You know, stuff like that. They're all pretty competitive because they know what the kind of ranges are, and so those are just two great places to look on eBay. Both of them, or at least I know Probstein has buy it now stuff that you can just buy, and then they're always running auctions on, you know, eBay just all the time. So you can find really, really good stuff on there. Again, you're going to be competing with a lot of other people, so expect to pay a little more than you would on kind of an off seller, a non well-known seller like Probstein or PWCC. So that's kind of the eBay route. But really, I want to tell you guys a lot about the non-eBay route. And so what I'm going to do is put a link below once this, I'm doing this live right now, but once it uploads later, I'm going to put a link below because people are asking me all the time, so where are all these auction houses that you're talking about? I don't know, there's maybe a dozen of them or so. Heritage, Golden, God, there's so many, I can't even name them all. But there's a website, if you, it's called Old Cardboard, and there is a link to their calendar, not only for auctions that are ending, and they have links right to their websites. I mean, it's incredibly simple. I'll put that link below to that auction calendar. It also has shows, and the Chantilly show, and the Philly show, and the White Plains, and the National, and all that kind of stuff. All the TriStar shows, they'll have dates when those are all happening. So you can definitely use that calendar as a great resource to find out kind of what's going on and when the next auctions are. So like I said earlier, right now is that prime time, and I guess it's the start of baseball season and everybody's just running auctions right now, which again, I think cannibalizes the market, but great for me as a buyer. I don't really care. What's really cool is you have to get approved to be a buyer on these auction houses, and so you have to go on and fill out a form, essentially an online form with your name, information, blah, blah, blah. And you have to, you know, sign up to get registered to be a bidder on their auctions. And I'm registered to bid on all of them. And what's also interesting is when you buy an auction, Pristine's another good one, auction house, is that you have to typically pay immediately, and you cannot use PayPal or a credit card. You either have to, some of them will let you do it, but they'll charge you the fee. Basically, you're going to pay that in a surplus. But if you pay, you can pay cash, ironically, or check. And if you write a check, they'll typically give you a discount too, which is kind of neat. But what's important to know about auction houses is they will up whatever you're bidding, add 20 to 25%, 20% for what's called a buyer's premium, as well as shipping and handling, and they kind of nickel and dime you at the end of it. And so you need to really count on, if you're buying a card for $100 or an item for $100, it's really going to be $125. So take that into consideration as you're bidding on things like that. My autograph collection is asking, is anybody a hockey fan? I'm a hockey fan, but the Stars aren't that great. So the Dallas Stars aren't that great. So, all right. Once you become a bidder on these auction sites, something really cool that they do is they send you their catalogs, and you get the catalogs in the mail, and they look like this. They're just big old, well printed, and inside here it'll have, you know, a description of the item and what lot number it is and their website and all that kind of stuff. And some of them, like, here's a 54 top set, complete set, and the back shows a bunch of their kind of highlighted items. So this is Memory Lane Inc., by the way. They have a spring 2018 auction fever auction going on, and so that's going on right now. Golden Auctions has an auction going on right now. Love of the Game. Heritage just finished. That's where they sold the Mickey Mantle PSA 9 for $2.8 million or whatever, $3.3 million, whatever it went for. And the biggest one, and this is, I look forward to getting this catalog every year because if nothing else, it's an amazing archive of fantastic cards and memorabilia and stuff like that. and that's Robert Edward Auctions. And actually, on the back, it shows their previous covers for their auctions that they had. Look how thick this is. I mean, this is like a freaking novel. It comes in like a FedEx package, and you get it in the mail. And if you go to Net54, which is a forum for kind of old school cards, there everybody always talks about, oh, I got my REA catalog today, because those are guys that are buying higher end stuff. So here's as an example. I just flipped through it. I flipped too fast, I think. But there's a see if I can find it again real quick. So they'll put in here, like, there's a Mantle 52 Topps. I almost said Mantle rookie, but it's not a rookie. 4.5 in that case. And they put down a description of the card, and they'll talk about what they think it'll go for. And they're just beautiful pictures of everything. And so REA right now has a ton of stuff that I want to get. And so when I see it in here, I mean, I look online, you get emails from them. By the way, you'll get absolutely pestered with emails, which is okay. It's not that big a deal. But if you want to find higher end items and cool older stuff, or never know that you were looking for something, and as you scroll through and see things, it's just really, really fun to use auction houses as a way to buy stuff you would normally maybe not buy. I don't know if you guys remember the Hall of Fame program that I got a few weeks ago. I'd gotten that in an auction house, the one with Reggie Jackson on the front where he signed it, and there's like 50 Hall of Famers inside of it. That kind of stuff you're only going to find in an auction house. And if you're collecting Hall of Fame autographs and higher end, stuff from the 50s and 60s, that's the only place to go, is these auction houses. So that was kind of what I wanted to talk about. I know it's a relatively short video. If you have questions about auction houses or want to know what to do or how to do it, feel free to shoot me a PM or leave a comment below. I'll happily respond to it. That's kind of what I got today. I'm excited. I'm going tonight to see Avengers Infinity War in just a couple hours, less than 2 hours. I'll be in the movie checking out Infinity War, so I'm excited to see that. Big, huge MCU fan. Obviously, I got comic books behind me up above my head. And my light is really being kind of funny right now. So that's what I got. It's a short live video, but I really wanted to do this. I wanted to kind of tell people about, I am a nerd. I am a total nerd, but I wanted to really tell everybody about auctions and just make people aware of what else is out there besides eBay or COMC. Or I just think we don't utilize the resources that we have available to us. And if nothing else, I can hopefully provide some color to that, which is otherwise a kind of daunting thing. But once you get into it, man, it is very, very cool. There's so many things I would love to buy that I just, you can only buy so many things. So, all right. So that's all I've got, I think, unless anybody asks any questions. But I'm not getting a lot of mail lately, so I thought I'd just come on live and show you guys some things. Don't forget, Sunday night, Pepino Man is going to be, he's on here now, I think, but he's going to be on Sunday night on Beyond Cardboard. So wear your earmuffs. I'm sure he's going to have tons of noisemakers, and good grief, who knows what's going to happen on that show Sunday night. That's going to be at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific for all you guys out on the left coast. And Snoop, that's a great point. There are different levels of auction houses. But in reality, most of them work in the way that I've described. Serious Sports Cards is one I can think of that's a little more lower end, so to speak. But most of them are, no kidding around, you're going to spend, if you want to find some cool stuff, that's where you're going to do it. It's in an auction house. So don't be afraid to use that resource. And thank you, Jerome, and thanks everybody for supporting the Beyond Cardboard series. This will be episode 7 already. I know Snoop just finished episode 6 of his show, Beyond the Hobby, or Around the Hobby, sorry. And just a great job that he's doing with that. Unbelievable, getting a lot of traction. He just does a great job. I know how much work it is. So that's the good thing, Snoop, about doing a live show. Instead of I don't have to do any editing. I'm just talking to someone else and asking them questions, which is great. I don't have to talk about myself. So anyway, that's it. 15 minutes is gone. That's all the time I really wanted to spend and take away from your day. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks for watching right now. Subscribe if you haven't. And we'll catch you guys Sunday night on our show, Beyond Cardboard. Be there. Keep collecting.